I got to learn how to think on my feet. And I watched a little bit of it, but I stopped it, and I'm rewinding it right now. Okay, here it goes. They're showing a clip
which claims that presidents
of Trump.
And Americans who died in wars are losers
And this may be a valid bitch. That's why I want it live with me. They won't let me do a live, but I'm doing it live on my cam.
Couldn't believe when he heard it, and he knows everything about all of it. And to think that I would make statements negative to our military and our fallen heroes when nobody's done what I've done with the budgets, with the military budgets, with getting pay raises for our military. It is a disgraceful situation by a magazine that's a terrible magazine. I don't read it, but I just heard about it. They made it up, and probably it's a couple of people
Little
who have been
context.
failures in the administration that I got rid of, and I couldn't get rid of them fast enough. But
not Trump, but the situation is out of context.
As far as John McCain is concerned, I was never a fan. And I will admit that openly. I disagreed with him on the endless wars.
That's Obama war.
With him with respect to the vets and the taking care of the VA. I
Going
wanted
to
to do it
private
a much different
institutions
way,
if they can't get. Yeah, I agree with that, Trump.
When you look at the success we've had with the VA and with our vets,
firing them, firing doctors that are horrible. Yeah, I agree in the VA.
But I still respected him.
Okay, that was a long explanation.
What was the problem with that?
Of protesting a lot. Thou doth protest.
What was the problem? Endless wars when Obama made he made criteria way too much. He made criteria way too much for the rules of engagement that exacerbated the longest war in American history, self-proclaimed by MSNBC. I disagree. The longest war in American history is against Satan. But that's their version. Their version is with Islam, Islam is the longest war in American history. Well, not quite. Let me hear their explanations of why that was a terrible siding with the Rhino McCain. Why is my controller not working?
To be said is that the comments ascribed to the president in this article are entirely consistent with what we've heard him say publicly about John McCain. Remember,
John McCain sucked. You guys threw him a state funeral because he sucked. He was a Republican, supposedly in name only. And you guys threw him a big party because he was on your side. He armed radical jihadists.
In this piece. So the president's design
Go on.
emphatic in his denial, but it's not convincing. And the article tracks what we've heard him say in public.
Right on. And we should say the Jeffrey Goldberg's sources, 4 of them are unnamed sources, but you're right. This is when it would be good to have some credibility, and this president simply doesn't.
He armed them with Obama. Obama armed ISIS. McCain armed ISIS in collusion with Obama.
One other point. Our colleague Barbara Starr tweeted a while ago that there has been complete silence from the highest-ranking generals in the United States military since this article
And
came
yes,
out. They
in
are
Syria,
not speaking up
the
to defend this
anti.
president. That tells you something.
General Herling, that's right up your alley. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's tough to speak out right now if you're an active duty serving general officer. They can't do that, Don. I mean, they have to support and defend the president as well as the Constitution.
Supposedly,
so by not
supporting the president,
they're
right?
saying a lot. There are too many circumstantial paths, as John just pointed out.
Is this guy Republican? Is this a non-echo chamber?
Which just confirm the kinds of things that we're talking about. You know, he not only talked about John McCain this way, but all the other losers and people. There's evidence that he didn't want his son to go into
So
the
it's an
military
echo chamber,
and disown
okay?
him
He's going against Trump.
Disinherit him if he did that. The Mary Trump book is saying the same kinds of things. There's just too many facts involved. One other
That's
thing I'd
circumstantial.
Say, John, having been
You don't have hard facts.
I
You
know
just
where
have
it is.
circumstantial
It is
evidence.
a piece of hallowed ground.
You're trying to paint a picture and your picture falls apart because you can never make that picture that you want to paint come into fruition.
There's something wrong with your driver. So these are all just things that tend to pile on what we've seen in the past. And the last thing I'll say, Don, is the military, the veterans I've talked to tonight.
Well, get them all on record. I want all the people that flip on Trump and Christianity. I want them all on record because it's basically a war against Christianity and Jesus. The Bill O'Reilly killing Jesus, right? That's pretty much what they're doing.
We have been here for years discussing this. Remember that, while
The
the president
Baphomet pedophile, Clinton,
all these issues.
Obama, I love Aisha, Saul, right?
John McCain. He did it even after his death. Before his death, he said, I like heroes who weren't captured. I thought that was going to end this campaign, but little bit.
That was disheartening.
He spoke about Paralympians as tough to watch.
But I tell you what, on the heels of Chelsea Manning, right, that risked the lives in that context, that he fled because big tech make him fled. It was set up where he'd be captured. And they would use Chelsea Manning and, was it him? Was it Chelsea? Dad, help my mind out. Was it Chelsea Manning? The one that wants to, or was that the intelligence fupa? Dad, can I get a staff? I'm doing good on my own. All right, Dad.